Good morning, everyone. This is Eric Silvermoon. Today is day 30 of my 30 Days of Magical Challenge. It's kind of bitter, it's kind of bittersweet, but it's also Beltane, which is one of the reasons why I didn't do a video yesterday on the actual 30-day. But something came up family-wise, and I was like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. I think I'd rather do it on Beltane. And you can celebrate Beltane on the 30th or the 1st for us here in California, or in this region. Take a sip of coffee. You know me, I'm always sipping on something. So it's so good. Yeah, so it's super early. It's 6 in the morning here in California. And I was just kind of deciding whether I wanted to do it after I got off work or in the morning. And I thought in the morning will probably be a lot better because the energy is fresh, the sun is rising, it's getting a little bit brighter, it's getting a little bit warmer, and it's just that nice energy of Beltane. And so to talk a little bit, I have some bullets of things that I want to talk about. So the 30 Days of Magical Challenge. And so, these were technically 29 days of me talking about my spiritual path, really putting myself out there, sharing some spell work. My original intent for this was just, I thought it was going to be really fun, and it is really fun. But this is my ideas when I went into it. I thought it was going to be, kind of a fun way to kind of force myself to be on YouTube and to kind of talk about some stuff and do a lot of spell work. And I thought, I was like, okay, so every day I'll just do some kind of craft or some kind of spell, and then kind of just show people how I do it. But, excuse me. But during that process, I was like, well, I feel like I need to talk about some stuff because during this process, things are coming up. I feel like either some triggers are coming up or just some really awesome aha moments. And then I saw the opportunity to allow myself to be vulnerable on camera and then just allow my story to come through. And then in one of the videos, I did share that, as a witch, it's not all about spell work. It's all about inner work too, and then the magic that you craft within yourself. And that was huge for me because as I was working and talking with, right now it's with myself, but with viewers, eventually it's like we're having a discussion. And all your love and support off camera and on Facebook and Twitter, it's been fantastic. And the conversations I've had have really shown me that, I do have a very blessed life, and I do have chosen to surround myself with really awesome people. And I think that all came into me being authentic and being myself and allowing people that are just like me to find me and, kind of exchange stories, exchange, our experiences, spell work, ideas, add to our, I did some of the craft videos and they gave me suggestions. I was like, holy crap, that would have been really cool. I'll definitely do that next time. So it's been a huge eye-opening experience for myself. Excuse me. And the amount of growth that came from this challenge, it is beyond anything I would have expected. My confidence in sharing about my path in 30 days from day one to right now has been huge different. And I've been on camera for quite a long time with, I first started with Coffee and Inspiration with Crystal Starshine and Friends. For those that have been following me for a really long time, know what that is. And then we decided to change the channel to the Witches of the Four Quarters. And so I've been on camera a lot, but I've always had others. So by myself, I've never really had that much by myself. I did, like an interview once a long time ago, I think last year, with Flora Sage, who talked about her book. And I did another interview with her, but, I still can't believe all these amazing changes that I've had. One, like I said, my confidence, my ability to be able to communicate a little bit better, more clearly, have dramatically improved. And okay, so I apologize. I apologize for my computer completely crashed, and I guess it kept recording. So there's going to be some editing. So I'm going to put my banner back up. But so while I'm doing that, I'll talk to you guys. And so I don't know what happened. My computer just totally crashed, and it's a new computer, so I don't understand it. But I believe I have to go back, but I believe I left off, and I was just talking about the growth, and the amount of changes that I've seen. And when I start to look back on my journey in the 30 days, I can't believe the amount of confidence that I got from it, and the communication for me I feel has been a lot more clearer. And the connection with my goddess and the experiences that I had in each day, and I'm looking back and I'm seeing everything that I did, and I'm just like, well, that's, for me, I feel very proud. It's a very proud moment. And so I thought that was really cool, because I originally just thought it was just going to be for fun. And so it was such an awesome experience doing this 30 days of magic challenge for April. And I definitely recommend it for anyone who just wants to either start a YouTube and maybe doesn't know what to do. Try doing that. I think it was super helpful for me, and I was able to really really push myself past those fears and just get online. And with Google Hangouts, just like I got kicked off earlier, I mean, stuff happens, but it's not too bad. It's not too chaotic, and it's live. So if you ramble, then you ramble. And it's one of those things where the nerves aren't really there, because you're just communicating. And that's why I like Google Hangouts, because it feels like I'm just talking with some friends rather than sitting recording myself and feeling like I'm being recorded in a sense, and then messing up, and that's like take 5 or something. But I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. So yeah, for 30 days of magical challenge, I highly recommend anyone to do it. Like I said, it doesn't have to be 30 days of crafts. It could just be your 30 days of your spirituality, which does involve crafts. And like I said, mentioned before, it also involves, as a witch, a lot of internal work as well. And so it was a huge experience. And for me to not even think about the day it was ending, so it technically ended yesterday, but I decided to do it on Beltane. And so having that already there, I feel like it was a very divinely guided experience, because now that it's ending on Beltane, Beltane to me, and we'll talk about Beltane now. Beltane for me symbolizes the spark of something amazing that is going to happen. And I really didn't plan it out. I just said April will probably, I'm not sure what I want to do for April. Maybe I'll just do this. But having it end like that, to me, it's very special. And like I said, Beltane does symbolize that spark of creation, of that, that, what's the word I want? I guess that's the best word I could use, the spark of creation of something just magical that's about to happen for the next year. And so I feel everything that I've done from January to today have really prepped me for this moment to move forward in my spirituality, in my spiritual business, as an artist, as a witch, as a blogger, as a psychic. It's one of those things where I feel way more confident in myself in these 30 days. It's almost like I was in spiritual rehab, and I came out feeling refreshed, renewed, and I really saw those bad habits, those toxic behaviors, and it's almost like I can't wait to get my chip. I should have like a toxic behavior chip. What is it, like a 30 days toxic behavior clean chip? That would be pretty awesome. So on Beltane, I've always since I was a kid, I've always had a deep connection with the fae and fairies. Excuse me. And on a past episode of The Witches of the Four Quarters, we talked about Beltane, and Melanie Wallace, aka Shakti, she brought up on how the fae don't look like they don't look like this to her, like very tiny, like the way we growed up with Disney creating the fairies. The way that I agree with her in the same sense is because when I feel the fae, I don't feel a tiny presence. I feel a tall, ethereal presence. Like the best description I could say is Kate Blanchett in Lord of the Rings as that elf. I've never seen the movies. I've only seen one in bits and pieces, but every time I see her, I just had a deep connection with her. So maybe I'll watch it. But yeah, so that to me, that tall form for me was that fairy queen. And so I feel like that's the energy. So during this time, I love creating fairy gardens. I really love getting my hands dirty with potting plants and doing the whole details, the houses. I mean, it's so great. Good thing today's payday because it's the first, and so I think I might actually take a day. I might take half a day off. I'm gonna see if I could do that and go to Lowe's and buy my stuff just to make a very small fairy garden. I have one in my kitchen which I brought here, and so it's actually on a cake dish. I have it on the actual platter, and then I have the glass dome on top of it. But I took the glass dome down because it's really heavy with it. And so I'm gonna try not to knock it down. So I'm gonna show you, this is my fairy garden that's in my kitchen. I'll try to tilt it. In fact, maybe I'll just move my camera a little bit so you can see it. So that's what it looks like. It's just moss with the little river rocks and my fairy and the little gate. And so this one's in my kitchen next to where I have my dried herbs. Let me fix my camera. And I had this cake dish for a long time. When I was 19, my mom gave me a couple things from the house as a housewarming present, and that was one of them. And something else she gave me was like what was it? It was like this crystal set of glasses that had like this, what is it? Something to put whiskey in, which I thought was kind of weird because she doesn't drink and I don't drink whiskey, but I kept it for a really long time and it kind of just sat there whatever bar we had. And eventually I got rid of it. I really liked it. And you can find things like that at the 99-cent store, at the yard sales. I've seen people do amazing things with teacups. They'll chip at teacups and they kind of stack them around like in a corner of like their kitchen, and then they'll put moss and they'll just decorate it almost like a little fairy town of teacups with like an actual teapot, and they'll like cut the little door, or they'll just paint it to look like a little house. I think I want to do that. So, that's what I like to do on Beltane. It's just that celebration of the fae and being playful and feeling young at any age at this time. It's that just allowing yourself to really experience this human experience, every joy, every moment. That's why, I make it a tradition to, have sex with my partner at this time, because it is that life experience, is feeling that sensation of what your body goes through during sex, what your mind and everything, your entire being, having that deep connection. It's very symbolic to the Great Rite for those that know what that is. I've been reading the Mist of Avalon lately, and I can't help but to kind of see that that's the perfect representation of what the Great Rite is. And what I usually do is that I have a red candle, because candles are very phallic in shape, and so I have a red candle. I carved couple symbols that I feel are sex symbols, like the male sign. Also wrote Aphrodite's name on it, and when I light it, I do call down Aphrodite. And the first time I did this, I felt really, really silly and really like nervous and awkward about calling in a goddess to talk about sex, or to be there and to coach me during it. But now I feel really comfortable since I've been working with her for a couple of years. I just let her know and say, hey, Eric and I are, this is a very special moment, and I want to feel beautiful, and I want to feel sexy, and I want to feel comfortable in my own skin. And I really want to experience the whole thing and be really present in this moment. And I asked her to remove any nerves, any, even though Eric and I have been, this year we're going to be 10 years, it's still a very vulnerable moment. I mean, you're with somebody, lights on, lights off, but it's still a very intimate moment. And, you sometimes do feel a little bit shameful for your body, because in a relationship for that long, you want to make sure that you feel, still attractive in some ways. And so those are the doubts and that I don't want. And so I asked her to take those from me so that I could really just allow myself to be me and connect with my partner in that way. So with the great right, that's what I guess I tend to do on Beltane. And, I mentioned again on the Witches of Four Quarters, I did share that connection. And it's odd because I could look back on the other Beltanes that have passed, and even though I've really didn't acknowledge it to my fiance Eric that we have to have sex in this day, not that we have to, but I would want to. This is the first year I told them that we need to make sure we plan for this in the sense where it doesn't feel like we're performing or we planned it, but just so I could share a little piece of why it means so much to me during this time. And this is the first year I did that. So hopefully, we have that moment to ourselves. And even if it's tomorrow, which is Saturday, I mean, it's still fine because the energy of Beltane for me usually lasts like a good week. It's still there. It's still time to celebrate. I've always celebrated things for a whole week, like birthdays. My birthday goes a week long. I always celebrate. But yeah, so like I said, it really is a beginning of changes. It's a celebration. This is a perfect time to actually, I have my rune symbol that I did on when I was showing you about the runes. This is the Perthro symbol, and to me, this is a very like a fertility symbol. It's very sexual. It's packed with passion and desires and creativity. And it's an emotionally charged symbol for me, and it's very tied into my intuition as well. So that's what Beltane is like. It's all those energies of this human life wrapped up into the energy of one day in the sense of the meaning of the holiday. So I never go by the book on any of the Sabbaths or Sabbats. I just never really resonated with doing something by the book, or I respect the history and my ancestors and all that stuff by learning it and appreciating for what it was at that time. And now as a modern witch, as 2015 kind of witch, what is that? I have to move it to the next level so that it works with me in this lifetime. That's why I sometimes think, because Eric and I watch a lot of like Ancient Aliens, and we watch about stuff that usually gets digged up, and I always think it's like, wouldn't that be really cool if you found like a 1800s or whatever, like a witch's book of shadow back in the day. But then when I would think about it, it's like, well, what would that content look like? I don't think I'll have much use for it. I mean, besides it just being beautiful and having some information, but I wouldn't really understand it, and maybe the magic now wouldn't be the same because times have changed. And so it was just an interesting thought that kind of just came up the other day. And I thought with Beltane, it's every year's different, and it's really hard to kind of stick to a structure every year. And so I like that. I love that every year is different. I'm always surprised on things and what things manifest. And it's a time for celebration of life, of the body, of the ebbs and flows of just everything. So when it comes to my relationship with Eric, it reminds me to honor and to be present, and to know that sometimes I have to sacrifice things that I want to make sure that he gets his wants met. And it's a constant ebb and flow back and forth of us working together, because it took him, I believe, a little bit of a longer time to get used to my spiritual practice. And for someone that doesn't really necessarily believe in something, when it comes to religion, he's been a huge supporter of me and what I do, and that means a lot to me. So, everyone's been asking me questions of what's going to happen next after the 30 days of Magical Challenge, which is at the end of today. And this has really, like I said, it forced me to do something every single day consistently, except for yesterday. But it forced me to do something consistent, and it wasn't something where I felt it was work. It was I cannot wait to get on camera moment to talk about this. And it was exciting. So I decided to do it, to do a video every Saturday. And it will be way easier to do a Saturday, because it's been a full day. I work usually 8 to 9 hours a day, then come home. I'll do my magical time video, and then start dinner and start being with my family. So it's a full day. So having that Saturday to just really sit down and relax with that energy and do a video, I think it'll be way more powerful, and it'll feel less rush, if that makes sense. And so my other intention with Sunday is that, for those that signed up for my newsletter, thank you so much. I will be posting every Sunday, either a blog or sharing in my newsletter. So, in my newsletter is usually what I promote, either the spell work that I'm selling, or that any readings that I'm doing, any special promotions, announcements. I share that only on my newsletter. But after the 30 days, I'm still going to do like do-it-yourself kind of videos and how-to videos. I really do like sharing spell work on camera, because I myself always look, before I do any spell work, I like researching it. I like seeing the way other people do it. And give me a second. I really like seeing how other people do it, what tools they use, how they used it. And I like listening to their experiences, and because I feel that it is such a beautiful moment to sit there and see another witch's craft, and really just sit there with a appreciation for it. And it usually gets me really pumped to do my own magic. And I've always said to people that don't be afraid to copy somebody, to try it out for as an experiment. I mean, not to sell it or copy someone to make money, excuse me. But normally when I see a video, I'll look at it and see, it's like, okay, is this something that I could just replicate to see what the experience was like? Or can I add to it? And I always added to it. I always changed it. I've been someone that never really likes using someone's written words for a spell. I usually see it more as poetry for myself, but it inspires me to write my own spell work. So I will continue doing videos of how-to videos, spell work, because I like being intimate with those, because I know that the people that are going to watch it are looking for that same kind of quality that hopefully I'll be able to provide. And for the new people that are starting YouTube, like Kylie Abel, which I absolutely adore, and we don't know too much about each other, but I'm totally rooting for her, and I'm in her team. She just started her channel, as most of you probably started your channel as well. And one of the things that I was very scared of is that people weren't going to like me. And that has always been something since high school, is that people are not going to like me. So that's a fear that I had to release. And right now I'm just like, cancel, because I don't want to feel that again. But there's a saying that I absolutely love. This is that you could be the juiciest peach in the world, but you're still going to find people that hate peaches. And that to me is inspirational, because it just makes me feel like, you know, I could be my authentic self and really allow myself to just be me and have fun, but I'm still gonna face people that don't like me, and that's okay. And you know, there's probably gonna be comments of people that are gonna say really mean things, and I'm gonna try my hardest not to comment or feed on that negative energy. I'll just let it there, whatever, it's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion or whatever makes them happy. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. And I apologize for my computer rebooting midway. As soon as I end, I'm gonna try to edit the video to remove that big chunk of negative space. But I really appreciate everyone and the amount of support I've received on these past 30 days has been, I mean, emotional, has been really inspiring. So I really appreciate it. I appreciate all your love and support. It really allows me to want to continue. So this is messy. So thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for everything. Just huge thank you. It really means a lot to me. So I really appreciate it. And to end it on Beltane is huge for me. So thank you guys so much. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Beltane and have a beautiful weekend. So thank you so much. Blessed be.